Namaste, welcome to the guidance classes for the Group 1 services telecasted by our TSAT. We are discussing about the Telangana economy with the help of socio-economic outlook of Telangana. So, we know that the great contribution for Indian economy from our Telangana state only. In all sectors, not only in the agriculture sector, even service sector, industrial sector also, the major contribution by our Telangana state. The reason is the government policies and its implementation, correct? Okay. So, per capita income in the state continues to be higher than the national level. In 2020 and 21 year, the per capita income in the state was 1.78 times higher than the national average. Means it is approximately double to the per capita income of national. Means the government has taken a very good initiations like TSI pass, correct, ICT policies and other industrial policies also to increase the per capita income of Telangana state. So, here the very important question in the examination point of view. So, in 2020-21 financial year, the per capita income is how many times higher than the national average, that is 1.78 times. And our per capita income for the year 2021 and 2022 is 2,78,833. Clear? Okay, this is a very important information. In 2020-21, economic output in the state measured by the gross state domestic product was 9.78 lakh crores. It only fell by just 1.26% in 2011-12 prices. Generally, we will measure this GDP based on 2011 and 12 prices. Then just it was fallen by 1.26% and increased by 1.35% in the year 2021 prices. When you compare with the 2020 and 21 prices, it is increased by 1.35%. When you compare with the 2011-12 prices, it is just fallen by 1.26%. So, here in the examination, they may ask the question, what is the GDP in the financial year 2020 and 21 is from the Telangana state is 9.78 lakh crores rupees. The Telangana economy has survived better than the country in the past year due to the impressive performance of the agriculture and allied sectors such as crops, livestock, fisheries and forestry. So, not only all these sectors, so in all sectors the government, of course, Telangana is performed impressive performance and they increase the contribution of GDP in national level. So, that's they will ask the question in this scenario, that is what is the GDP for the financial year 2020 and 21 is from the Telangana state is 9.78 lakh crores. The real gross state value added, generally we will call it as a GSVA of the sector, grew by an impressive percentage, that is 20.9%. Compared to this, national growth rate is just 3%, is quite modest, correct? So, the national growth rate for the real gross state value GSVA just 3%, but for Telangana state it is GSVA is 20.9% when you compare with the national growth rate is 3%. So these two statistics are very, very important. The GVA is the output of the country less the intermediate consumption, which is the difference between gross output and net output. So maybe all of you know this, that is intermediate consumption. When you compare with the GVA, generally you know that GVA is the difference between the gross output and the net output, like you can calculate the GVA. Since 2016 and 17 year, the average annual growth rate in this sector has been 14.5%. From 2016, 17 year onwards, the growth rate is increasing to around averagely 14.5%. The driving forces behind this success is the crop and the livestock subsectors averaging annual growth rate of 17.1% and 13.9% respectively. So when you compare with this, the driving forces for the increasing in the GDP growth rate, in the crop sector it is 17.1% and the livestock subsectors it is 13.9%. This is a very, very important phenomenon. Various initiatives, the reason for driving forces in the growth rate are, the reason is various initiatives, that is those are focusing on the horticulture crops, livestock, for example sheep rearing development program, and the mass free sheeps. The free sheeps are given to those people, that community, and goat deworming program, and irrigation, especially irrigation projects like through Kalesam project and Mission Kakatiya and other irrigation projects contributed this robust growth. So this generally they may ask to what is the reason for there is an impressive growth rate in Telangana state, means that initiatives taken or adopted by the Telangana government, especially in the horticulture crops and livestock. That's a very one more important. So example for the giving importance for livestock means sheep rearing development program, and the mass free sheeps and goat deworming program. So the government is every year giving some free sheeps for that community, so it increases the livestock, correct. And the major impact is irrigation projects, that is irrigation through Kaleswaram project and Mission Kakatiya project. In contrast to the agriculture and allied sector in 2020-21, the industrial sector growth including mining sector contracted by 5.6%. So, considering this agriculture sector and its allied sectors, industrial sector also there is a growth in the industrial sector, especially in the mining sector, it is nearly 5.6%. The industrial sector, however, contributes a smaller share at the state level than the national level, 21.7% in Telangana versus 28.5% in India. So just a small deviation, less growth in the industrial sector, small share, that is a 21.7% from Telangana, where 28.5% in India when you compare with the industrial sector, the growth in the industrial sector. The government has been proactive in implementing initiatives to drive industrial growth, such as Telangana State Industrial Project Approval and Self-Certification System, that is TS-IPAS, Self-Certification System, and Telangana State Industrial Project Approval. project approval and self-certification system. That is actually, there is a full form of TS IPAS. So, I will repeat this. What is TS IPAS means here? TS IPAS means Telangana State Industrial Project Approval and Self-Certification System. That is a full form of TS IPAS. This act was taken by the government in 2014 for the speedy processing of application to set up industries in the state. Clear? So, this is a very important thing. In this, there is so many objective type questions may come in the examination. When was the TS IPAS Act was launched? That is in 2014. And as you know it, and what is the full form of TS IPAS means here? Telangana State Industrial Project Approval and Self-Certification System. That is the full form of TS IPAS, and in Telangana the industrial sector growth rate is 21.7%. So, these are very, very important. Okay. So, why this TS IPAS is introduced means to speed up or to speedy processing of application and to set up industries in the state. That is a reason for launching the TS IPAS Act in 2014. The spatial difference in gross district domestic product GDDP reveal the fact that within the state, some areas such as Rangareddy, Hyderabad, Medchal Malkajgiri, Sangareddy and Nalgonda contribute more GSDP and have collectively contributed nearly 51.8% of the state's capital GSDP. This is a very, very important here. Then the gross state domestic product, GSDP means a gross state domestic product, whereas one more word is there, GDDP means gross district domestic product means so the actually the gross domestic district domestic product is nearly 51.8% of the state GSDP from the few districts. Those are such districts are Rangareddy, Hyderabad, Medchal Malkajgiri, Sangareddy and Nalgonda. These districts contribute nearly 51.8% of GDP in GSDP. This is a very important thing here we have to identify, and just remember this one, it may comes in the examination question here. How much? In 2020-21, per capita income in the state was nearly 2.27 lakh rupees and only grew up by 0.6% from 2.26 lakhs in 2019-20. Actually, in 2019-20, it is 2.26 lakhs per capita income, whereas in 2020-21, it is increased to just 0.6% and increased to 2.27 lakhs. Importantly, however, the state's per capita income is not only higher than the national average, but has consistently been growing at faster rate at 10.7% as compared to the national rate of 7.2% during the same period. So, this is an important considerable thing here. So, when there is a growth in the GDP with the national level as 7.2%. National capital income growth is 7.2% in this period in 2020-21 year. In Telangana state, it is 10.7%, means approximately 3.5% is more when you compare with the national level. This means that in the state, the average citizen can expect their income to double in roughly 7 years, whereas the average citizen in the country as a whole would be to wait about 10 years. So, if So in Telangana state, so when you compare this statistics, in just in 7 years his income will be, as per this growth rate, we can expect that in Telangana state the income of the citizen of Telangana citizen income will be doubled in 7 years, whereas other than Telangana region, means in the rest of the country the citizens per capita income will be doubled for in 10 years. See, in 7 years the per capita income of Telangana people will be increased to double, means their per capita income will be doubled in 7 years, whereas in other than the rest of the Telangana state in the country, it will be expected to double in 10 years, means there is a 3 years margin gap is there. So that's a remarkable achievement from the government in the financial aspect. One of the fundamental goals of the government is to generate growth that creates high quality jobs in the state. The labor force participation rate, means LFPR, here especially in this economy, so we are going to learn these statistics and abbreviations. We have to concentrate on all these forms. Here using the one word called as LFPR. LFPR means labor force participation rate. The labor force participation rate, which is the percentage of all those aged 15 years or more who are either currently employed or looking for employment, is a measure of the labor supply in the economy. According to the periodic labor force survey 2018 and 19 conducted by the Ministry of Statistics and the program implementation, that is MOSPI, the government of India LFPR in the state was 55.1%, which was higher than the national figure, which is 50.2%. So in the Telangana state, the LFPR is 55.1%, whereas national level, so means national level, the value is 50.2%, means nearly 5.5% is more in the LFPR, means labor force participation rate. Means how they are going to calculate this labor force participation rate, means here the percentage of all those aged more than 15 or more than 15 years age who are either currently employed or looking for employment, is they will be considered for this calculation for the labor force participation rate, LFPR. And here in the Telangana government giving a very important thing is to generate growth that high quality jobs in the state. So that's a remarkable achievement from the Telangana state in LFPR. So in so the question comes, what is the LFPR rate in Telangana state is 55.1%. What is the LFPR rate in national level, that is 50.2%. Clear? This is a very important. Who conducted this, means who calculated, means labor force survey conducted this LFPR, and with the support of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Here also one more abbreviation is there, that is MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, that is MOSPI. So with the help of MOSPI, labor force survey conducted a periodic survey, that is in 2018-19, and as per this statistics the LFPR for Telangana state is 55.1%, whereas national level it is 50.2%. Significantly, the female LFPR, which is also a measure of female empowerment and agency, was much higher than in Telangana, that is 38.3% than India 24.5%. Overall, 27% of employed persons in that state have a salaried job, and this is higher than the national average 23.8%. As per this labor survey report, So LFPR for the female is also means the female empowerment and agency which is conducted measures this female LFPR. The value is 38.3%, whereas India means national level it is 24.5%, means nearly 14%, 14% is more than the national level LFPR. So our Telangana female people have a good LFPR, means they are empowered than the rest of the country. And when you consider the overall employed persons in the Telangana state, means who have the salaried job is nearly 27%. 27% of for Telangana people have employment. This is higher than the national average is 23.8%. Here in the examination they may ask what is the LFPR of female in Telangana state, that is 38.3%. When you compare with the national level, what is LFPR for female is 24.5%. What is the overall percentage of people who got employment in the Telangana state, means here are there how many people, percentage of people have were salaried, means here 27% in Telangana, whereas in national level it is 23.8%. So now we are moving to the next one, the public finance system. So moving on now, discuss how about the public finance system sector. So good. Public financial management is a foundational for good governance. The government's ability to raise revenues efficiently and spend sparingly allows it to provide welfare. Over the last year, allowed it to control the spread of COVID-19. The COVID-19 induced lockdown in March 2020 led to high decline in the revenue, as you know it. When this COVID-19 was seriously spread in the throughout the world, even our Telangana also suffered a lot, and there is a decline in the financial system, correct? So decline in the revenue also. In April 2020, with the state's own tax revenue, that is Socio, collected in April 2020, falling by 87.7% when you compare with the collection in April 2019. Just when you compare the statistics of the revenue collected in 2019 year and 2020, April 2020 and April 2019, means there is a drastic fall down, that is 87.7%. Expenditure requirements increased for the building this necessary medical infrastructure and supplies such as PPE kits, oxygen beds, ventilators, remaining all these things. It provides a welfaring measures. The government sanctioned a total of 5,268 crores for COVID-19 related measures. So actually for providing all these medical infrastructure, the government spends nearly 5,268 crores for providing these PPE kits, oxygen beds, ventilators, etc., and health provisions, all these things here. Here the expenditure is increased because it's unexpected expenditure, but the revenue is decreased nearly 87.7%. This is a crucial in statistics to know about this public financial system. The expenditure requirement increased for the building the necessary medical infrastructure and supplies, all these things. The government sanctioned nearly, you know, that 5,268 crores for COVID-19 related measures. At the same time, the reformative efforts of the government enabled the state to borrow an additional amount of 1.75% of GSDP under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan beyond the 3% of GSDP permissible as economy deficiency. So, generally when you have suffering with economy deficiency, we can borrow some amount from the GSDP, we borrowed an additional amount because to provide infrastructure, to strengthen the medical infrastructure. So, the government has borrowed additional amount of addition from the 1.75% of GSDP under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. This is a very important, Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. That word is very important, and the beyond the 3% of GSDP is permissible as economic deficiency. So, there is a permissibility to get additional amount from the GSDP, means here just it is permissible amount is 3% only, but our government has taken additional amount is 1.75% of GSDP. That is important information. The financial management in the state was more foresighted when compared to that of 18 general states India GS in the country during 2016 to 17 to 2018 to 19 represented by 2016 to 19. So, this is a very important, and the state recorded the highest annual tax growth during the period 2014 to 19 at nearly 16.6%. Between 2016 to 17 and 2018 to 19, that state's tax to GSDP ratio was the highest in India GS at 7.5% against an average of 6.3% of India. This is one more important information, that is in between in 5 years period, that is 2014 to 2019, there is a highest annual tax growth, and there is a growth, GSDP growth, the state's tax to GSDP ratio was nearly 7.5%, whereas average is 6.3%. In 2016 and 17, 2018 and 19, the state capital expenditure constituted 23.2% of total expenditure against 14.8% for India GS. The state's development expenditure constituted 78.5% of total expenditure against 7.4% for India GS. So, these statistics are very important. Now, see here the state expenditure, capital expenditure, actually it is 23.2% of the total expenditure, whereas when you consider for India, it is just 14.8%. Consider 14.8%, means see the difference between the expenditure for the national level and our state capital expenditure is around approximately it is 8%. Approximately it is a 8% difference is there. The state development expenditure constitutes 78.5%, whereas the total expenditure against the 7.4%. Here also there is a difference of 8%. So there is a growth in the what you call as a GDP contribution. There is a growth, and revenue also growth in, but the expenditure, state expenditure, capital expenditure increases more when you compare with the national state's expenditure. That's remarkable information to know about all these things. So, in this way, so here the statistics are very important, and you have to prepare in an order on each financial year what is the GSDP and how it is differ from the national level, and whether it's increases or decreases. This information you have to we have to consider. So, here very important thing is there is a very good growth in the 5 years, means 2014 and 19. There is a highest annual tax growth during the period in 2014 and 19. So, these stats are very, very important. So, we will discuss the rest of the things in the next session. Thank you.